You think you know JDM Cars? Think again. While everyone's drooling over Supras and GT-Rs, there's a whole underground world of Japanese automotive genius that most people have never even heard of. Cars that were too weird, too expensive, or simply too ahead of their time to ever go mainstream. But here's the thing, some of the coolest innovations in automotive history came from these forgotten machines. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on 5 hidden JDM gems that deserve way more respect. Let's get into it. Number 1, Nissan Rasheen, the quirky adventure box. Starting off strong with something that looks like it escaped from a Nintendo game, the Nissan Rasheen. And yes, I know what you're thinking. What in the world is a Rasheen? Exactly, that's the point. Built from 1994 to 2000, the Rasheen was Nissan's attempt at creating a retro-styled compact SUV before anyone even knew they wanted one. Picture this. It's the mid-90s, SUVs are just starting to gain popularity, and Nissan decides to make one that looks like a 1950s delivery van had a baby with a Land Rover Defender. Weird? Absolutely. Awesome? You bet. The Rasheen rode on a compact car platform shared with other Nissan models of the era, which meant it was basically a normal car underneath. But here's where it got interesting. Nissan offered it with a choice between front-wheel drive and part-time four-wheel drive. Not all-wheel drive, but old-school four-wheel drive that you manually engaged. In a compact crossover, that's like finding out your golden retriever is secretly a wolf. Under the hood, Nissan kept things simple and smart. The base Rasheen came with a 1.5-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder making around 105 horsepower, with an available 1.8-liter option for a bit more punch. But the real standout was the SR20DE. Yes, that SR20. The same legendary 2.0-liter 4-cylinder found in the Nissan Silvia. With roughly 145 horsepower on tap, the Rasheen suddenly had way more personality than its boxy shape suggested. Pair that engine with the available manual transmission and part-time four-wheel drive system, and you ended up with a genuinely fun, go-anywhere compact that felt way ahead of its time. Inside, the Rasheen was pure 90s charm. Circular gauges, simple controls, and a surprisingly spacious cabin for its compact footprint. Nissan even offered two-tone paint schemes that made it look like a vintage toy truck. And the best part? The Rasheen has become a cult classic among JDM importers, with prices climbing as people finally realize just how cool these things really are. Number 2, Mazda AZ-1, the K-car supercar. If the Rasheen was quirky, the Mazda AZ-1 is downright insane. This is a car that makes absolutely no sense on paper, but in reality, it's one of the most fun machines ever created. Welcome to Japan's answer to a question nobody asked: what if we made a supercar, but pocket-sized? The AZ-1 was produced from 1992 to 1995 under Mazda's AutoZone brand. And here's the kicker. It's a K-car. That means strict size limits and an engine displacement capped at 660 cubic centimeters. Most key cars are boring city commuters. Mazda looked at those rules and said, let's build a mid-engine sports car with gullwing doors. Because why not? The AZ-1 is tiny, just over 11 feet long and barely 5 feet wide. That's shorter than a smart car. But despite its size, this thing has real sports car DNA, a mid-engine layout, gullwing doors, and a tubular frame chassis. Power came from a turbocharged 657 cubic centimeters 3-cylinder engine sourced from Suzuki, producing the maximum allowed 64 horsepower. And while that number sounds laughable, the AZ-1 weighs just over 1,600 pounds. That means 0 to 60 in roughly the 8 to 9 second range and a top speed around 90 miles per hour, which in a car this small and low to the ground feels absolutely wild. The handling was legendary. Mid-engine balance, ultra lightweight, and a short wheelbase made it feel like a go-kart with a roof. A go-kart with gullwing doors. Only about 4,400 units were ever built, making it extremely rare today. And because it was so unconventional, most buyers ignored it when it was new. Now, it's a collector's dream, proof that sometimes the craziest ideas are the best ones. Number 3, Toyota Crown Athlete, the ultimate sleeper sedan. Here's where things get serious. The Toyota Crown Athlete is proof that Japan knows how to build a proper performance sedan without making a big fuss about it. While everyone obsessed over the Supra and Aristo, Toyota quietly built one of the best sleeper sedans nobody talks about. The Crown has been Toyota's flagship sedan in Japan since 1955, but the Athlete variant, especially in the late 90s and early 2000s, was something special. This wasn't your grandfather's luxury car. This was a wolf in expensive wool. Let's focus on the early 2000s Crown Athlete. Under that conservative exterior sat Toyota's legendary inline-6 engine. Most Athlete models came with the naturally aspirated 2 JZGE, producing around 220 horsepower. Smooth, refined, and nearly indestructible. But the real performance versions were the Athlete 5 models, which received the turbocharged 1 JZGTE, officially rated at 280 horsepower. Thanks to Japan's gentleman's agreement, this engine gave the Crown serious straight-line speed while maintaining its quiet executive image. Rear-wheel drive came standard, something Toyota new enthusiasts would appreciate. The suspension was tuned for sporty handling without sacrificing ride comfort, and the interior delivered everything you'd expect from a Crown: leather seats, premium materials, and rock-solid build quality. And here's the secret: the Crown Athlete became a favorite in Japan's drift scene. Rear-wheel drive, strong engines, and a robust chassis made it perfect for sliding, even if it looked like a businessman's daily driver. That's the definition of a sleeper. Number 4. Honda Prelude Type S, the forgotten VTEC legend. Everyone knows the Integra Type R. Everyone knows the Civic Type R. But the Prelude Type S? Criminally underrated. The 5th generation Prelude, produced from 1996 to 2001, was already a brilliant front-wheel drive coupe. But in Japan, Honda offered the Type S, a sharper, more focused version built for true driving enthusiasts. Power came from the H22A, a 2.2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder with VTEC, producing 217 horsepower in Japanese spec. Paired with a close ratio 5-speed manual, it loved to rev and begged to be driven hard. But the real magic was Honda's Active Torque Transfer System, or ATTS. This wasn't a traditional limited slip differential. It was an electronically controlled torque vectoring system that could actively send more power to the outside front wheel during cornering. Instead of pushing wide with understeer, the Prelude Type S actually pulled itself through corners. It gave the car handling characteristics that felt closer to rear-wheel drive, something almost unheard of for a front-wheel drive car at the time. Honda also stiffened the suspension, upgraded the brakes, and reduced weight compared to the standard Prelude. Combined with hydraulic steering that delivered incredible feedback, the Type S became one of the sharpest front-wheel drive cars of the era. It was never sold outside Japan, which is exactly why so few people talk about it today. But those who know. Number 5. Nissan Stagea 260RS, the wagon that thinks it's a GT-R. Saving the best for last, the Nissan Stagea 260RS is the ultimate "what were they thinking?" car. And that's exactly why it's amazing. In the late 90s, Nissan was building the legendary R34 Skyline GT-R. Expensive, rare, and completely impractical for most people. So Nissan's engineers had a wild idea. What if we put all of that into a station wagon? Under the hood sat the RB's 26D ETT, the same twin-turbo 2.6-liter inline-6 used in the GT-R. Nearly identical hardware, officially rated at 280 horsepower, paired with Nissan's ATTES AETS all-wheel drive system. This wasn't just an engine swap. The 260RS received GT-R brakes, upgraded suspension, and a limited slip differential. Nissan basically built a family wagon that could embarrass sports cars on mountain roads. 0 to 60 came in under 6 seconds. Insane for a wagon in 1998. And because it shared so much with the Skyline, the tuning potential was enormous. Inside, it was practical, comfortable, and spacious. But glance at the boost gauge, put your foot down, and you'd remember exactly what this thing really was. A GT-R in disguise. There you have it. 5 hidden JDM gems that deserve way more love than they get. From quirky crossovers to pocket supercars to GT-R wagons, Japan's automotive industry has always been willing to take risks. And honestly, that's what makes these cars special. The best automotive stories aren't always about the biggest names or the fastest lap times. Sometimes they're about engineers who had a crazy idea and actually built it. So, which one would you import if you could? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more deep dives into the cars nobody talks about, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Until next time, keep hunting for those hidden gems.